Hi, good morning, all of you guys. Hope all of you can hear me. Yeah, guys, can anyone please confirm? Is I'm audible, guys? Anyone, guys? Can you confirm? Yeah. Good morning, guys. So, guys, just before starting the session, I just want to know, is anyone has been joined for the today's class, guys? Anybody has been joined for the today? Anyone is there who has been joined for the today's class? Okay, Kundan Kumar. Okay. Anybody else, guys? Aman, I think you are also first session. Okay, a couple of people. Okay, guys, I think remaining people has been already attended the last classes. So guys, Mr. Kundan and Aman, you don't worry about what are the previous classes actually, guys. I've just taken two demo classes I have been got taken actually, guys. Just two demos and introductory classes I have been got taken. Yes, Ankit? Yes. Yes, Ankit, what is your question? Yes, you can attend your classes in either timings. Okay. Which timing you are currently? I'm currently handling two batches. Aniket, one is at 8 p.m. At evening at one is at the other 8 p.m. and one is going to be at the 7 a.m. 7 a.m. is a recently started actually. So this is your batch, whatever the batch you have been started. So is it possible to attend at 8 p.m. for you, Aniket? Or if you let me know about which batch timing you're looking for.
Yes, sir. Is it possible to attend 8 p.m. one?
Yes, you can start. You can join the 8 p.m. batch, but already I have been completed the basics of Python. So are you aware about the Python? Because the batch was 1 month back. It was almost all 1 month back it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So do you have an idea about basic core Python?
A little bit, sir. Starting 7 to 8 classes I have attended, sir, the first week. So that much I done.
Okay, oh, you have the, no. Actually, we already started with Numpy and already started with the pandas. So if you think that you can manage them, because pandas was recently started and
Right,
we
sir.
already completed the Numpy. So anyhow, you'll get the access to the, if you are planning to shift it to 8 p.m. or join for 8 p.m. So you can take the videos from that particular Numpy classes and you can just go through them. So if you can handle, you can join the batch. Otherwise, we have to wait for the next batch.
Okay, sir. Sir, next batch of 8 p.m. When is it starting? Can
8 p.m. it will take 4 months. It's recently 1 month it was back started. No, it will still take 3 months.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So if you have any, if you just want to have any that kind of a plan, as already you can contact the Durga, whatever my backend team. So they'll inform me about that. If you want to join the batch, let them know. So they will give the access to that particular links. If you can manage the things, if you think that you can manage them. Otherwise, you have to wait for the next batch, or otherwise you have to attend this particular batch.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine, guys. Okay, so remaining guys, I think they have been already, you already have been attended the last couple of classes. So where I have been given the people, so who has been joined for the today's class. So if today is your first class, don't worry about them guys, because I have taken just two demo sessions we have been taken. So in that particular two demo sessions, I didn't started with any practical approaches guys. It is only just to make you just an understanding about, so what is exactly data science? So what is exactly data science? So what are the main topics we are going to be learning in the data science basically? So like this, we just given some idea about what exactly we are going to be learning here. And mainly we have started with some introductory part of machine learning actually guys, which is a main part of our data science course. So that is going to be nothing but machine learning actually guys. So where the machines are given some training to learn from the data. So if you give some data to the machines, machines are going to learn. Yesterday, just to make a little bit idea, that means just to make the people to understand, will the machines will learn? So we have just taken a small practical example where the machines are able to learn it actually, guys. I just given some small data set. So like, I think I given some data set like admission, whether a student can get the admission into a college or a university based on this particular marks. So we have been analyzing the previous students' data, who has got the admission, who has not got the admission. And based on that, we train the machine. and the machine has been given some insights towards it also. If your marks is more than 91, if the marks is less than 80, so when do you get the admission? When you don't get the admission. So it's a very small, a toy example. As I told you, the powerfulness of machine learning, whenever the data is going to be very huge volumes of data, and whenever there are going to be higher dimensions of the data, actually, there's higher dimensions. So yesterday we have taken only 2 dimensions data only. If we have an higher dimensions, we can't find it off actually. So don't worry about the technical terminologies, guys, because we have not yet started with any implementation. We didn't started with any much implementation. Just to make the people to understand how the machines are learning. So I shown you that with the help of an algorithm actually, guys. We are taking the help of an algorithms actually. So what algorithms we are going to take it? So that is going to be, we have been seen about that. What algorithms we are going to be taking. So yesterday I have used some kind of an algorithm called as a decision tree algorithms, right? So I didn't started this, guys. It is only just I used an algorithm which states that it's a decision tree algorithm and I have been handled. Just I shown you how to implement the things and all these things we have been discussed. Fine, guys. So as part of our course curriculum, guys, machine learning is all this or nothing but is all about something called as a mathematical techniques actually. It's a mathematical techniques. Yesterday I told you one example also, guys. Some techniques, some mathematical techniques and some methodologies we are going to learn it actually, guys. We are going to be learning some kind of an methodologies. Okay. So some kind of an methodologies what we are going to be learning actually, guys. Methodologies. Okay. Methodologies. So methodologies we are going to be learning. So to implement this, whatever the techniques we learn, to implement this, whatever the methodologies we are going to learn. So we have to take, so it's a mathematical concept, but we are not doing in a manual way actually, guys. So I'm going to explain one technique, but how do you do it? We don't do it manually, guys. We don't do it manually. So we are using a programming language for that particular methodologies. So which language we are going to use? So most popularly, guys, a language which supports this mathematical methodologies and mathematical or statistical techniques is going to be nothing but Python, and the other one is going to be nothing but the R language. Even Python and R is also the same powerfulness of Python actually, guys. So many people ignore the Python, the R actually, but Python is the R is also having the same powerfulness of just like your Python. But why the people will run behind the Python? Because it is not due to machine learning, guys. It is due to the deep learning. So if you are stopping your journey with the machine learning actually, guys, your intention is to learn only up to machine learning. So whether you learn Python, whether you learn R does not matter with them, because R is as powerful as Python in terms of machine learning actually, guys. But our main target is to move towards the deep learning. So coming to the deep learning, R language does not have that much support actually, guys. I'm not saying that R does not support deep learning. R supports deep learning, but it is going to be a little bit. That means to understand that particular. So to understand that it is not having that much supporting. It does not have that much support, and it does not have that much contribution towards the deep learning actually. That is the reason why the people are going to be learning learning the Python instead of R actually. But R is also a very powerful language. If we can just show some expertise in R language, based on the job interview point of view, you will be getting a lot of advantage for that. It is just an add-on actually, guys. It's an add-on advantage of that. So 2 candidates is there. One person is having only knowledge of Python. Another person is having a knowledge about Python and R. Obviously, who are having the multiple skills. So you will be getting the more priority. But learning the R language is not that much difficulty, guys. Most of the people think that R is very complex to learn it actually. But R language is basically designed for mathematicians and statisticians. You can just imagine as a mathematician or a statistician, how much knowledge the particular person is going to be having regarding the programmatical skills. So the main target about the R language, is for the people who do not have any programmatical skills. They want to use some mathematical formulations using some programming language. So they designed this R language actually. So R language is very easy, guys. Compare with Python, R is more easy. At least in Python, we have some confusion with object oriented. So some people, even me also, guys, I don't know which one is a method, which one is an attribute. I'll try it. If it is working, okay, well and good. If it is not working, I'm going to, because there are so many are there. But in our language, it is not like that. No object-oriented style, no confusion at all. Straightforward. It is going to work actually. In Python, it is not like that. First of all, we have to find out whether it is an attribute or whether it is going to be method or whether it is a function, whether it is a class. Otherwise, usage cannot be done. In our language, we don't have that kind of a confusion. So anyhow, we are going to just add up the R skill later, as in our separate module is there separately. Somewhere around 1 week of time, we are going to be spending the time on the R language also, guys. So today's our plan is to start with the Python, a very popular language, specifically for our data science. Specifically for our data science, the R language, the Python is going to be very, very useful and very powerful for very useful actually, guys. Specifically for data science people, Python is very powerful actually. Okay, so let us start with some introductory to the Python actually, guys. So as I already told you guys, first 2 weeks, it is going to be core Python actually, guys. It is going to be core Python. Whatever the Python that you require to handle the machine learning and data science related functionalities, up to that extent only, we are going to be discussing them, guys. We are not going to discuss beyond them. And already I told you, already explained you, I think already my backend team also has been informed you. So as a complementary, that means being, if anybody has been, the people who has been got registered for this data science, you will be getting a video classes actually, guys. The videos of complete Python actually. The videos of complete Python actually, guys. A complete Python, a videos we are going to be getting actually, guys. With around 170 videos. With around 170 videos, it was there actually, guys. At 170 videos from Mr. Durga sir. So the Durga sir videos are there. So 170 videos will be given to you guys. So that is going to be, that will be at a complimentary at a free of cost, which is going to be costing you around some 4,000. They are going to give you at a free of cost actually, guys. But to access them, we have some procedure is there. If you follow that particular procedure, there is some procedure is there. I'll tell you the procedure how to get these particular videos. Okay. So if you want to explore more and more about the Python actually, guys, you can just go through that particular videos, but 170 videos are there. At least if you go through at least 2 to 3 videos per day, at least if you want to complete within 1 month of time, at least you have to go for. So see, just imagine how many videos you have to complete of them. Okay, if you want to complete within 1-2 months of time, but that much level of Python is not required for us, guys. That much level of Python is not required for us. So just if you know how to work with the basics of core, the basics of Python, that is going to be sufficient. You really don't require more and more knowledge about the Python. That is basically complete knowledge of a Python. Who requires basically, that is for the Python developers. That is going to be basically for the Python developers actually, guys. We really don't require them actually. So core Python, guys, 2 weeks. We're not going to work more than that. Just at 2 weeks, we are going to be working with that, guys. Hardly 12 to 14 days. We work on this particular Python. Okay. Hardly 15 days, guys, not more than that. Fine. So let us start with, I think everything is going to be, so the, who has been joined for the today's class, guys, don't worry about them because we have not yet started with any, the practical also, just only the introductory part has been done. And anyhow, my backend team is going to share you the recorded videos for you. So anyhow, there are going to be given the recorded videos of the demo classes will be shared to you. You can just go through them. Anyhow, we have a complete discussion about what is machine learning and all these things in our coming classes. We have them actually. So completely 3 to 4 days, I'll give a complete introductory part of the machine learning when our machine learning starts actually. Yes. After that, when you go to the deep learning, we have a deep learning introductions. Like that, with respect to the topic, we have a complete discussions will be there, guys. Okay, fine. So let us start with the Python actually, guys. So don't worry. So in first 2 classes, we don't have any flavor of any machine learning or deep learning or data science related. It looks like if anybody joins, it looks like a Python class actually. But we are taking up the Python to make our implementations of our machine learning techniques and all the methodologies what we are going to be learning actually, guys. Okay, fine. So let me give some introduction to Python actually, guys. First point. Python is going to be who generally, first of all, who will uses this language? When you are learning a language, first of all, who learns the language? That means who uses the language actually. For what purpose it is going to be gets used. So then only we can understand them. So whether it is going to be why we are learning them. So you're learning C language, but for what purpose we are going to be learning? We are learning some other Java. So for what purpose we are going to do? In our real applications, what exactly we are going to do with them? So we have to understand them applications, guys. So the first thing here is, guys, the first thing which is going to be nothing but the Python is going to be for what purpose it is going to be gets used. What type of applications or what we can do with the help of the Python. So there is nothing specific like Python can be used. Why the Python has become that much popular nowadays actually, guys? Because Python is not like limited like it should be used only for this particular purpose. Like for example, Java is there or .NET is there. Using them, we can do only for specific applications only we can develop. Maybe I can develop a mobile application or I can develop an, let us say, Windows application, or mainly we use Java, .NET, PHP, all these basically for web developments actually, guys. Mostly for the web development, there will be gets users actually. So to develop the web pages, we are going to be using this particular, the languages like Java and all these things. But coming to the Python, who uses the Python means there is nothing limitation, like only these people are going to be users actually, guys, because the contributors of this particular Python is saying that Python is not a specific purpose language. It is a general purpose language actually, guys. Generally, we call it as a general purpose language. So why R? So I told you why the R scope is limited actually, guys, because R is going to be for a specific purpose. It is only basically used by mathematicians. It is only used by statisticians. But Python is not used only by mathematicians and statisticians or something like that. You can be used for any kind of we can use it for any kind of an applications. Who uses them actually, guys? Once if you look at who uses that, anybody. So basically it can be used for application development, guys. Applications. For development of applications actually, guys. Which kind of an applications we can develop? As many applications we can develop. You can develop the web application, guys, web pages. We can develop the mobile applications. Even we can develop the gamings. You can develop the gaming applications actually, guys. So the game designers are there now, guys. Those will be used as this particular Python. So for development of applications, we can use. We can do web development, mobile applications, gaming applications, anything it can be used. Not only this, guys. I think if anybody has been learned Java, if anybody has been learned the Java actually, guys, it's not mandatory. I'm just telling that if anybody has learned the Java actually, so some kind of an socket programming is going to be learned in the Java. Even Python also supports the socket programming. So why do you require socket programming, guys? For basically for networking applications. These are basically for business applications, guys. So it is going to be used by, which is going to be a socket programming. So who want to perform a socket programming actually, guys? So those are going to be gets used as this. Like who can we say networking engineers, even hackers. So basically how the hackers are going to do the hackings actually, guys. It is basically by using some kind of a networking programming only. So they'll find out the loopholes in that particular network and they are going to crash that particular networks actually. They'll crash that particular networks. So it is going to be socket programming. So hackers also is using nowadays this particular Python. So as usually mathematicians and statisticians, guys. Mathematicians and statisticians. So even the mathematicians and statisticians. So whenever you want to apply some kind of an mathematical formulas. So for example, guys, let us say that I'm giving two matrices. Let us say that I'm giving two matrices and I'm asking to do a dot product between two matrices. I think you have been learned this. While learning the C language, you have been learned how to calculate that particular, how to write in, how to multiply the dot product of two matrices. We have written a lengthy code actually, guys. We'll write a lot of code. We'll take two loops. We are going to take two loops. And after that, what we are going to do is we are going to write some code actually, guys. But we have to write a lot of code. So still it is a lot of difficulty for so many people. So let us say that if this is a matrix I have been got given, let us say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we'll write a loop actually. So each row we have to get, each column we have to get, multiply them, add up them, and then we have to do that actually. So it is a little bit difficult, guys. It's not that much easy actually. It's not that much easy. So what is the shape of the first array? What is the shape of the second array? And we have to do that. In Python, we don't do that kind of an application, guys. It's a direct multiplication. We can do that because it is going to perform all the utilities. The C, C++, Java, they don't provide the utilities to work this with these calculations. But Python provides, R provides. So R provides actually, guys. R provides working with the matrices. Python provides you all the utilities to work with the matrices. So that's why mathematicians and statisticians also nowadays to apply some mathematical formulas and all these things, they are going to be using the Python actually, guys. And obviously our that we people like which is going to be like data analytics. So Python is providing all these usages actually, guys. You can use for data analytics part. So data analytics is also done by statisticians only, guys. But we are not a data. To become a data analyst, you don't require to become a statistician actually. But some basic statistics or maths, if you know that, we can do the data analysis. So data analysis, we can apply the machine learning, we can apply the deep learning, we can apply the AI. All these are going to be provided by these Python utilities. So Python provides you all the utilities to work with them. That is the reason, if you can see the scope, it is not limited like only these people will use this. So anybody who wants to perform some kind of an operation, it may be an application development, or it can be some kind of a maths and statistics, or it can be some kind of a socket programming, or it can be some kind of a data analysis, or if you want to apply any machine learning algorithms, whatever you want, we can just apply all those things as of this particular Python. That is one of the reason the Python has become more popular actually, guys. So what about the R language? R language is basically only for specific purpose. Mathematicians and statisticians can use. It's a mathematicians and statisticians can use it actually, guys. Basically, they don't support any web development, mobile application, socket programming. They are not supported. Mathematicians, statisticians, data analysis, ML. Up to ML, R will support actually, guys. DL and all these things may not be supported. That much extent of them. It will support, but not that much expert, not that much supportive for this kind of an application actually. So that is about the first introductory part of the Python. So why we are learning Python? Because anybody can learn Python for any purpose. Even mathematician may learn, or maybe a data analyst may learn, or for a machine learning engineer can use, or a engineer, or a machine learning, a deep learning engineer, or it may be a hacker may use this, or any networking people, or any mobile application developers. Anybody can learn this particular Python because it is giving a support of all of them actually. Okay. The second and okay. So before going for the next discussion, actually, I think already you maybe already have been learned the Python. If already people has already learned Python, guys, because for them it is going to be looks to be very simple only. Let us talk about some history about the Python actually, guys. Why the Python has came first of all. So why the Python was written, or why the Python has been got developed actually. So it has been, the story has been started around in the 1990s actually, guys. The Python story has been started around in 1990. That particular story starts around 1990. So there is a team of members. They want to develop a language. So they are doing some research and they want to develop a language which is basically should be very easy for the developers. They want to develop a language. The main target is to develop a language. So we want to develop a language actually. They developed a language which is very, very simple for the developers, which is very simple for the programmers, So what are the major headaches are there? So all that headaches, they want to avoid that. So where basically for programmers, if you want to simplify them so that anybody can learn the programming. So initially, whenever we started initially some years back, so at least to learn a programming language, you should be having some kind of programmatical skills. But nowadays, everybody was able to learn. So the techniques, the technologies has been got changed actually. Okay, so they developed a language actually, guys. It is going to be a developed a language actually. So first, initially they started a research with a language called as an ABC. They developed a language called as an ABC. The name of the language itself is ABC, guys. Why? Because why they have been got used actually, guys. So why the name which is going to be? Why the name ABC has been given? Generally, what we say here is whenever we want to talk about it, any particular thing which is very easy for us, we generally say that it is going to be as simple as ABC for me, which is going to be as simple as ABC for me. That means it is very easy for you. So that's why they named that particular language. They named that particular language as a name called as an ABC. But for due to some reason, this language was not released actually, guys. This was not released due to some reason. It was not released actually, guys. Okay. So as some due to some reason, it was not released. But inspired from this language, inspired from that particular language, okay, inspired from that particular language, they developed this language. They written this particular language called as an Python. It is inspired from the language. Python was inspired from so many languages, guys, not only from ABC. So which is going to be, what we are going to call it as, which is going to be the Python. So Python was inspired from so many languages actually. Okay, so mainly it was inspired from the particular language ABC, and mainly that Python was written by the person, by the team, which was headed by the person called as an Rossum. So his name is actually complete. The full name is Guido von Rossum. Simply we shortly we are going to call him as a Rossum actually. He's a Dutch programmer. So he is the main person who has written this particular language called as an Python. And the name Python actually, guys, I think nowadays by that time already everybody has came to know about them. So why the name has came actually, guys? Why the name Python has came? So why the name Python has came actually? So many people think that even not only, guys, even so many popular publications and publishers also, when you see a Python textbook, on the Python textbook, you will be having Python means the one thing which comes to our mind. Even which is going to be, if you go to Google and say type Python, so you are going to get that particular, the snakes, the related to the snakes, the huge snakes actually. But nothing is going to be related to this particular, what we are going to say that. So nothing is going to be related to the name Python is nothing correlated with the snake actually, guys. And even if you look at the Python symbol also, that means when you see the Python, it is going to be looks like a snake actually, guys. Even when you see the Python, like what are the symbol they'll use is actually, it looks like something like a snake actually, guys, but nothing relevant to that actually. So the name Python has been the name Python has been it has been got taken from where it has been got taken actually. So the name Python has been taken from a TV show actually, guys. So during 1970s, during around some 1970s, so there used to be a comedy show on the British channels. So which name is going to be Flying Circus, which is going to be nothing but what we can say that just an example. Okay, so its name is going to be Flying Circus, which was directed by the person called as an Monty Python. His name is Monty Python actually, guys. So the name of the TV show is going to be Flying Circus. So Monty Python Flying Circus is going to be nothing but the name of this particular TV show. The person who has been contributed, which is going to be who has been directed this particular TV show, is Monty Python. So this Rossum, who has written this particular Python language, okay, it is going to be what we are going to be doing here is this particular Rossum, who is a fan of this particular TV show. He has been taken that particular name, the Monty Python's name, as a Python here. It's the name of a person actually. It's the name of the director who has been directed. The team members is going to be the Monty Python who has been directed this particular the channel, that particular show, which is going to be the Flying Circus actually. From there, he has taken this name called as a Python. There is nothing relevant to that particular snakes or nothing relevant to something like a reptiles, that particular snake. It is from a TV show actually. So there is going to be some history about them. So, and it was started around 1991. It has been got started actually. Okay, fine. So history has been started from 1991. So over the time period, they have started with the different versions and all these things. So which we are going to do that actually. Okay. So that's going to be the idea behind this actually, guys. Now coming to the features actually, guys. Anyhow, we'll tell you the features later, because when you start with the application, I tell you the features actually, guys. So which is going to be the main important things, like what are going to be the main features actually, guys. So coming to the programmatical part of side, when you see the programmatical part of them, it is very easy to learn. It is very, very easy to learn and very, very easy to implement actually, guys. It is very, very easy to implement. How it is possible, I'll tell you. Technically, I'll tell you. Practical, I'll show you actually, guys. Very easy to learn and very easy to implement. So learning is also very easy and implementation is also very easy. So as I told you, so to make a mathematician to understand the Python, to understand how to use Python, that much simply it is going to be there actually, guys. That much simply it is going to be doing this. So that is going to be why it is going to be why it is going to be that much easy actually, guys. That much it is going to be easy about that. So the basic idea in the Python here is what the Python community says. And one more thing is it is an open source. Right? Okay, anyhow, I'll come back to that. It is very easy to learn and which is going to be easy to implement. How it is going to be done. So Python says only one thing, guys. For every functionality, we already written the code. We already written the code. You, whatever the functionality you require, you tell me. I'm going to give you the code to you. Only the thing is that code is given as a function to you. You have to just call the function or you have to just call the method or just you have to use a so-and-so class. Don't worry about what is class and all these things I tell you. So what the Python community is saying is everything is going to be ready to use. You really does not require. It is going to be does not require any kind of a functional code, any kind of a functional code. Everything we are going to give you readily. You just only you have to call the function. Just by calling a function, we can implement the things. Just by calling the function, we can implement the things. You really does not require any functional code. Internally, what is happening, you need not to write anything. You need not to know anything. So how the Python compiles, how the Python works, we need not to worry about them, guys. Directly usage. Okay, so that is going to be how we are going to be gets working with them. I'll just tell you some small examples. I'll tell you actually, guys. Like for example, if you remember in when you are learning C language, you have written a program called as a factorial program. You have been written. So obviously, everybody who learns this particular, the particular C language, they have been written a program to find the factorial of a number. Write a C program to find the factorial of a number. If you want to find out a factorial of a number, C language does not use you any functionalities. No built-in functionality will be given. So we have to write a code. So what we'll do is we'll declare a temporary variable t equals to 1. We take n equals to some number 5. So starting with the n, what we'll do is we'll multiply this number actually starting with whatever the number is there. For example, we want to find out 5 factorial. We'll start from 5. 5 into 1 will become 5. Then it is going to be incremented by 2. It is going to be, decremented by 1. Then 5 into 4, which is going to become 20. Then it is going to become 3. Then it is going to become 60. Then it is going to become 2, which is going to become 120 and stops it when it reaches the 1 actually. Like that, we have to do the calculation actually. So what Python says is you really don't require to write any code for us. Do you want to do the factorial? We already given a function to you. You need not to write any code. But what the Python says is all functions are not ready to use because we have a millions of functions are there. Why I have to give you all the functions to you at a time? You use whatever that means this is a mathematical calculations. It is a mathematical calculations. So what you have to do? This function is available as a part of a module. So Python provides you some modules actually, guys. Some predefined modules will be there actually. And there are so many other contributions are also there. So Python provides you some modules and packages. Later we'll see what is a module, what is a package. Just for the timing, you can just imagine that a module is nothing but just like a collection of functions. So that what there don't give one by one function actually, guys. As a collection of functions for some functionality. If you want to do mathematical operations, all the mathematical functions as a module, as all the mathematical functions as one module, not only factorial, log, something like square roots, exponentials, powers, whatever you want, anything you can do it actually. So they says that the module will contain some around 20 to 30 or 40, some around 40 to 50, we are going to be giving some kind of an functions will give you. You can directly use them actually. So not only starting with factorials actually, guys. If you want, we can just find out which is going to be GCDs, LCMs also we can find it off. You can find a function related to LCM. Normally, other languages does not support them, guys. Other languages does not supports finding LCM. Finding LCM is not going to be supported. So you have to write the code. Everything we have to write that code actually, guys. We have to write the code and we have to work with that particular code. What is the code we have to write? No need to write any code. Python says that every functionality for a mathematician, how it is going to be. For a mathematician, to make every work to be simple, we are going to be using that particular language. Just directly use it. I'll just show you how easy it is going to be there, guys. There is a function. Just call the function. Just calling the function actually, guys. So anyhow, if you do not have any idea about calling a functions, don't worry. Later we are going to be working with this actually. Let me open the idle. So don't worry, guys. What I'm trying to do, don't worry about that. This is nothing but the Python editor. It's an IDE for the Python actually, guys. So if I directly say something called as an factorial, let us say this, guys. If I use something called as an factorial of 10 or factorial of 5, it does not work. System does not know what is meaning of the factorial. Because the factorial is a part of a module. So you have to tell what module it is there. As I told you, every module is not available readily. It is there in your system, but we have to import. Like in Java, you do it. Or in C language, we do hash include. It is going to be stdio.h. Hash include, which is math.h. Same as it is. We import a module called as an math. The name of that particular library or the name of that particular module is math actually, guys. Once if we import the math, simply we can do this actually, guys. We have to say math dot, it is factorial of 5 actually. That's it. You really don't require to write any particular code. That's it, guys. So normally square root, power, log, these are normal calculations. If you want to find the square root, it is going to be square root of 100 actually. Math dot, which is going to be log 10. So you can see them, guys. Log 10 of which is going to be 100. It is going to be something like a 2. Math dot, which is log 2 of which is going to be, let us say 64, for example. So 64 is going to be 2 to the power of 6. So 2 to the power of 6 to the base 2, which is going to be nothing but 6 is the result what we'll get it. Like this, guys, everything, it's going to be natural log. So what is natural log actually? This is natural log. Almost all functionalities are there actually, guys. All functionalities. You can find out the sine value actually. Sine 30 multiplied by pi value. The pi value also we need not to write. We simply say math.pi. That's it, over. It is going to be something like this actually, guys, which is going to be nothing but actually we should say pi by 180, no? So it is going to be pi by 180 actually, guys. So that is a value what we are going to be doing this actually. Or we can convert the degrees into radians. You need not to multiply the manually by yourself. We can do it directly also. So math.sine, we can do it actually. Sine 30, 30 is degrees. So we have to convert into radians. Math dot, we are having a function called as a radians of 30. Even directly, you can do the application. Same result. Same result you will be getting actually, guys. Okay. So what I just want to say is, you really don't require, almost all languages will support, but Python provides you a little bit more than what we have been expected actually, guys. So if you want to find out LCM, it is going to be math dot. It is going to be LCM of, for example, you know what is going to be LCM, guys? Least common multiple actually. So it is going to be, let us say 5, 4. I think already have an idea. So 5, 4, which is going to be the least multiple. I think 20 is the least multiple, right? So we are going to be getting the least multiple, which is going to be 5, 4. Okay. So not only 2 numbers, guys, you can find out as many numbers you can do. For example, 5, 4, 8 actually, guys. What is the least multiple? I think you know that it's a 40, right? It is going to be 40 is going to be the least multiple. So if I said which is going to be 16, for example, if I add up the 16 actually, so it is going to be 80. 80 is going to be the least multiple actually. So such kind of an applications can be done very, very easily with the help of this particular Python actually, guys, without writing any code. So for a mathematician, they want to do that. No need of writing any code actually. That is the main objective of how we are going to be gets working with them, right? That's it, guys. That is going to be the idea behind them. Okay. So what I'm saying here is Python can just implement the any kind of functionalities. Almost all types of functionalities can be supported and can be implemented with the help of the Python. So for every functionality, we have given this. Not only this one, guys. Not only don't think that it's only mathematical operators, guys. You can do a lot of things actually. So don't worry. Just I'm importing another library actually, guys. I'm importing another library. Don't worry about them. What is that library? I'll tell you. So it is going to be nothing but this. This matplotlib is basically used for, which is basically for data visualization actually, guys. It is going to be nothing but a data visualization actually, which is going to be basically used for data visualizations. Normally, C, C++, Java, I don't think so. They'll support, even they support it also, we have to write a lot of code and a lot of things we have to write it. But here it is not so, it's not required actually. Just see how easily it is going to be gets done, guys. It is going to be how easily it is going to be done actually. So PLT dot, I'm trying to do a plotting actually, guys. Just a small numbers. So x-axis is 1, 2, 3, 4. Your y-axis, you can see there, guys, the plot y versus x as a lines or end or markers actually. So something like 14, let us say 12, let us say 15, and let us say something like an 8 over. This is going to be nothing but the plotting what I can do that actually. Do you want to see the plot? I'll show you the plot. This is going to be my data visualization plot actually, guys. It's a data visualizations. You can see for 1, how much is a value? 14. For 2, how much is a value? 12. For 3, how much is a value? 15. And 4, how much is a value? 8. Like that, we can work with an applications. You really don't require to work on this particular one. Just that's it. You can do as many. Do you want to change the colors? Yes, I can change the colors. So color is equals to nothing but red color. I'm going to change it to red color actually. So see how easily this customization is going to be there. So we are going to be getting this as a red color, what we are going to be getting actually, guys. It's a red color actually. So I want to see the points also. You can see the points also, guys. So everything is only just by calling the function. You really don't require to write any particular code actually. So this is going to be plt.show. Just see how scientifically it is going to be gets working actually, guys. How scientifically it is going to be gets working. So all scientific calculations, anything, all the scientific calculations we can do. So we can see not only the lines, where the points are there, the points are also going to be showing you. In our school days, we have been done. We used to plot them and we used to connect the things and we used to do it actually. So for everything, there is a library is there. For everything, there is a package will be there or there is a module will be there. Just import it and just we have to work with them, except that nothing will be there actually, guys. So Python provides you a lot of such kind of a modules. So a lot of modules actually, guys. For example, they want to do some web developers. We have some modules related to them. A mathematician uses, there is some modules are going to be there. So Python provides you a lot of modules or packages. I'll tell you the difference between modules and packages in our later discussions. But as of now, some important modules actually, guys, some important modules, like basically, which is going to be our machine learning applications. Basically, which is going to be nothing but our machine learning related applications, guys. So what we are going to be doing this actually, what we are going to be doing this. So I'll tell you some popular packages actually, guys. Most popularly important for us, guys. It is going to be some kind of a Numpy. Numpy basically stands for numerical Python. So which is going to be nothing but, which is going to be a numerical Python actually, guys. Okay. So when I want to do some numerical calculations, it's very important, very important for us, guys. So looks to be normal mathematics only, but it's a very powerful actually. You can't just imagine what the powerfulness of this particular NumPy module actually. So normally we use some Photoshops actually, guys. So we are going to be using Photoshops actually, right? Some kind of an Photoshop applications. So let me open one small image, just an example. Just a small image I'm going to be opening actually, guys. I'm opening an image just to understand them. So this is a small image actually, guys. It's a small image, which is, we can see a charmer inside that. I want to do some cropping. You know what is a cropping actually? So I just want to select this particular, I'm going to be doing this, selecting this particular image. Just a minute. Some part of this image actually, guys. I want to capture the main object here now, the monument I want to capture. Right click and I'm going to do the cropping. So I done the cropping of this image actually, guys. This is normally by using a Photoshop editors or something like that. But we do it in Python with the help of this NumPy actually, guys. So that image is internally just nothing but internally numbers only, guys. For normal people, this image, whenever say the image means, it is going to be some nothing but an image. For a normal person, it is going to be an image. It's a photo. So which contains a charm. That's it. But for our machine learning engineers or for our deep learning engineers, this is not a photo for us. It is only just a numbers for us actually, guys. It is only just a numbers for us. We really don't do anything actually, guys. It's just really a numbers actually. So if you want, I can just show you that example actually, guys. Don't worry about that. So I'm reading that particular image. See how easy it is going to be there actually, guys. How easy it is going to be there actually, guys. I'm importing that image actually, guys. And I'm going to be putting into my picture. Let us say that it is going to be my X, something like this. Don't worry. So now I read that particular file actually, the same file, download.jpg file is there. If I print the X value, it is only just a numbers only. It is only just the numbers only, guys. If I want to show the image, I'll show you the image. I print the X value and I'll set plt.show actually, guys. This is going to be nothing but the image. This is the image actually, guys. Just playing with the numbers only, guys. Just the playing with the numbers. So you can see the coordinates. What are the coordinates are there? Can you see here at the bottom? You can see X and Y. You can see the coordinates actually, guys. The X and Y. This is my X coordinate and this is my Y coordinates. When I put a pointer here now, 0, 0 actually, guys. Almost all. Exactly, I cannot say that. It is going to be 0, this value. Here I put it here, y-axis will be 0 actually, guys. X-axis will be 0. Here y-axis will be 0 actually. You can see the data actually, guys. When I put a pointer here now, it is 107.1 and y equals to 15.9. When I put a pointer here, we can see that. Sir, what is that bottom 255, 193, 126 is coming? That is going to be nothing but the pixel values actually. So pixel values actually, guys. Image is a collection of pixels. It is nothing but this number only, guys. When you come to the bottom, you can see the same number actually. You can see the number actually, guys. If I come to the bottom actually, you can see that particular pixel data actually, guys. Can you see the number left hand side? 61, 54, 26. If you see that the same number, you can see it actually, guys. When you come to the last bottom, this one. Just a minute once. If you just touch this, it is going to be. So last pixel actually, guys, this pixel. Maybe I can't just do that, but you can see the pixel actually, guys. The last edge pixel, if you can see that. 61, 54, 26. The last pixel, you can see the data. Same data there, guys. Same data there here. It is all about working with the numbers only, guys. So how to handle that? It is done by using a module, what we are going to call it as a Numpy module actually, guys. It is going to be done by a Numpy module actually. Like that, we have multiple modules are there actually, guys. Most popular are Numpy. And as of a date, this is all the modules which we have to learn them, guys. Pandas, we are going to be learning. We are going to be learning the pandas actually, guys. Apart from that, for data visualizations, we use matplotlib, or we are going to be using Seaborn. There are so many modules are there, guys. Seaborn. And apart from that, we are going to be using something called as an plotly, or we are going to be using bouquet. All these are going to be related to the data visualization part. Numpy is basically for numerical calculation. Numpy, or we use SciPy also, guys. SciPy basically stands for scientific Python. Numpy basically stands for numerical Python. All scientific calculations actually, guys. And basically when it comes to machine learning, guys, we are going to be using a very popular library called as an sklearn, scikit-learn. Basically stands for, which is a scikit-learn actually, guys. Scikit-learn means a scientific kit for machine learning, basically, guys. And for deep learning, we are going to be using Keras, or we are going to use as TensorFlow. We are going to be using something called as an PyTorch. So like this, we are going to be having a various popular libraries actually, guys. So for whenever we work with natural language processing, NLTK, and we are going to be using something called as an SAPI, or we are going to be using something called as an text blob, something like this, guys. A very popular, it's just a very popular packages actually, guys. It's nothing but just like making an instant noodles. So just like making an instant noodles only, guys. So just they give all that particular material, just 2 minutes, 2 minutes, it is over. Same as it is, all these packages just like a Maggie, or just like a making a noodles only, guys. All materials will be given. Only just is we have to just cook up them. That's it. That is going to be so very popular. Very, it's going to be very, very powerful actually, guys. So like spell correction we can do. Normally in our mobiles, when you do, or in our emails, when you type something, spell correction is going to be done, guys. The spell correction is going to be done by with the help of this particular text block. No need to write any code. Just give the sentence and ask the system to correct it, correct the sentence. It will correct the sentence. Text block, it is going to be the package which provides you all the utilities to work with the text. So if you want to do some correction of the sentence, so just give the text block, use the correct sentence. Just you give the syntax, the statement you give it, English statement or anything, it will correct that particular sentence actually, guys. So you can't imagine what is the powerfulness of Python actually, guys. So almost all, if you learn the Python, if you can control the Python, or if you can master the Python, almost all every functionalities we can do them actually without having any problem actually, guys. So easy to learn and easy to implement them, guys. Very easy to implement. See, this is how easily I have been got implemented. Just printing of images actually, guys. How easily, 3 lines of code. Read the image, pixels will come, and just you say print that particular pixels. Just the image is going to be gets coming without writing any extra libraries. We imported a library just by writing an import statement, but like Java, no need to write a void methods, main methods, importing of classes, object creations. We can't do them, guys. So just try them, guys. Just try them. I also don't have any idea. So displaying of images, let us say, guys, displaying of images using Java. I want to do it by using Java actually, guys. How do you display that particular images by using Java? Just an example I'm showing you, guys. This is a code they're writing actually. This is a code actually, guys. There is a code. Some code is written. Can you see? So they have imported some kind of an AWT. Okay, some JavaX, something like a JFrame. They created a class. Canvas has been the class which has been extending. They have writing a method called as a paint. Okay, so toolkit.default toolkit t.getImage and degree.this one, and all this method they have been written. Main method, they have to create an object of the class, and they are creating a object of that particular class as well as the JFrame, and f.add, f.setSize, and f.setVisible. So all this code, that means if you write a Java style, this is a Java style actually, guys. Whereas in Python, I have shown 2 lines of code. Just 3 lines of code. Import it, import that particular pixels, and I can print it. All I can do it in a single step also I can do that. I really don't require multiple steps. In a single step, I can do that. So that is a convenience of this particular Python. So easy to learn and very easy to implement because it is done with the help of the Python functions, the Python packages or the Python modules. So many we are going to be learning, guys. So learning Python is all about learning these modules only, guys. Even we are also going to be using some modules like RE. We are going to be using datetime. There are so many modules are going to be there actually, guys. Everything is nothing but if you want to do this work, what package is available or what module is available in Python. You have to think about that, import it, and we have to use it, guys. Okay, fine. So these are some of the modules which we are going to use it, guys. For example, if you ask a database, ask a web developer, web developers won't use any one of them. They don't even knows about what is Keras, what is TensorFlow. They may hear the names, but they never use it actually. But as a data scientist or a machine learning expert, NLP engineer, we are going to use all these particular modules actually, guys. Okay. And some of the features, if you talk about them, guys, the next features are going to be nothing but the Python is going to be an open source language, guys. You know what is meaning of open source language? That directly give the code to us. Normally, in commercial products, they will give you only executable file to us. We can't make any changes to the code. But being it is an open source, we can change your code as part of your requirement because they directly give the source code to you. They already given some source code to you, guys. Just open the source code and just edit the code as you are going to require it actually. So it is going to be open source. It is going to be free to use, and not only free to use actually, guys, it is free to distribute it also. You can distribute it freely. So free to use and free to distribute, guys. That is basically the main meaning of an open source. So if your company is using your open source, they don't limit or they don't say that, they don't restrict that you have to use only Python only. Any open source language. If you are convenient with any language, guys, they only check out whether you have the skills of this mathematics or statistics or all the machine learnings. Whether you use Python, whether you ask, they never bothered about that. The interview about the machine learning does not get any questions like Python questions, guys. Maybe some basic, some questions they'll ask you, but finally the implementation, nothing matters about that. So the machine learning techniques only they are going to be asking about them. So free to use and free to distribute, whether you do it by Python, whether you do it by R, because your company does not spend any money for getting a licensing for the Python or like getting a licensing for the R. Free to use, just download the source code and do it, whatever you want to use it actually, guys. And some features, if I talk about them, guys, it is a case sensitive language. It is a case sensitive language. You know this. What is meaning of a case sensitive language? If I use a variable a equals to 10, so if I say print the value of a, it is fine. If I say print the value of capital case of a, this is not a valid case. And even the keywords also, whatever the case they have defined, we have to use the same case. If I write print in capital case, it does not work. Print a, if I say that, it is not a valid case. Because print is a keyword, it is defined by the Python community. Variable a is fine, but capital case of a is not a valid case actually. It's a case sensitive language. And one more thing is, guys, it follows an object oriented styles actually. It is going to follow the syntax, whatever the syntax we are using, it is an object oriented style actually. It is an object oriented style. So if you want to use Python, you have to know what you need not to learn what is object oriented, guys, but it is going to be object oriented style. Sorry, it is going to be nothing but an object oriented style, guys. It is an object oriented style. The coding is going to be a style of object oriented. So notation like class, method, function, that kind of a thing actually, guys. An object oriented style is going to be required actually. So it is going to be works with classes, or we are going to work with methods. We don't create them, guys. We don't create them, but we have to know these terminologies. If you know the terminologies, that is sufficient for us. Okay, so a style of an object-oriented styles. So these are the some of the features which the Python is going to be providing actually, guys. Okay, so if you want to install the Python, guys, so the official website is going to be from the www. Which is going to be a download. Just download from the official website, which is going to be python.org. So you know what is generally ORG stands for actually, guys. For open sources, which are going to be non-profitable organization, the uses .org. Commercial products like Microsoft.com, Oracle.com, these are all commercial products actually, guys. .com, commercial. Whereas this one, which is going to be ORG, there are going to be open sources actually, guys. So free to use, anybody can download. The main target is they want to get some, everybody has to use our language. Everybody has to get some advantage from this. Everybody has to get something at a free of cost. That's why most of the university people, all of them are going to be users this kind of a language. Okay, so that's it, guys. That is going to be some introductory part about them. So no need to start our discussion from what is programming language, what is hardware, what is software. So generally, guys, when you are learning data science means we expect your knowledge to be a little bit smarter way actually, guys. You should be very, very smart actually, guys, very smarter. So that means everything we should not, that means whatever that is required. So the smart way is nothing but how it is internally done, never bother about that. How to implement it, that is the only thing we have to learn it. So why we are doing this? What is happening internally, nobody knows about that. It's not required for us because we are not here to learn Python and we are not becoming experts in Python. Internally, what happens, ignore them. Only thing is this is the implementation. What is a function? What is the input? What is an output? So don't expect that everything we have to start from the Python classes. The basics of Python means programming, what is programming language, all these things. Just whatever that is required for an implementation. If you're already having a knowledge about programming language, learning Python is very, very easy. If you are completely new to this, because data science can be learned by anybody, guys. As I told you, a civil engineer can learn, a chemical engineer can learn, anybody can learn the machine learning, data science. So they are not that much good at the programmatical parts. So some points may not be gets connected. So don't worry, slowly take some time, understand them and implement them. Okay, but it takes a little bit time for non-programmers. But if you're already having a knowledge about programming skills, learning Python is going to be very easy actually, guys. Okay, So anyhow, guys, just for today, we'll end up the session actually. Just for today, we'll end up the session here. And we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. As already told you guys, from tomorrow onwards, so you have to join at 7 a.m. because already the batch was already some people already joined. There are 22 people are there actually, guys. So we are not sure about how many people will be joining from this particular batch. So already there are 22 people are there. Already 22 participants are already there. If I can expect around 6 or 7, it will be somewhere around 28 or 30 approximately. 8 p.m. we have 38 students are there. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, guys, you have to join at 7 a.m. Okay. But anyhow, for a small change in the tomorrow's schedule actually, guys, because suddenly I'm traveling. So due to some urgency, so I'm traveling to my hometown today evening. So maximum tomorrow morning, you will be having the class actually, guys. You will be having the class at 7 a.m. if you have 7 a.m. So my backend team will update you guys. The backend team will update you whether you have a class at 7 a.m. or whether you have to join at 8 a.m. So depending on my reaching my destination, I'll just give you, I'll give some instruction to I'll inform to my backend team. So 2 hours before, they will inform you guys. They will inform you and you can join it either at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. My backend team will guide you. So don't worry about them. So plan for 7 a.m. If it is not possible at 7 a.m., you can plan at 8 a.m. Okay. So I'll tell you guys, depending on, because whatever the previous batch student is there, they have just 1 day ahead of you. Not even 1 day, just a half an hour ahead of you. So whether you want to take this tomorrow class for you and then break up them, or this how to give a break for them, or otherwise you can combine both of them and I can start the session actually. Okay. So tomorrow plan for 7 a.m. guys. Anyhow, my backend team will update you regarding that, whether to join at 7 a.m. or whether to join at 8 a.m. Okay, guys. Fine. So apart from 8 a.m., yes, Aniket will take the classes. Okay. So which is going to be take a classes, but it will take another 1 month of time. But you have to tell me what is your possible timings actually. Okay. So hardly it can be some around 6 p.m. or it can be 9:30 a.m. or sometimes it can be 11 a.m. It can be any batches can be there. Okay. So please update my backend team. Backend team will update you about the regarding the new sessions. But it will take another 1 month of time because every 1 month we'll start a new batches. Almost it takes another 1 month because already we started, no? Maybe in the month of March, we are going to start with a new batch. So can you tell me which timing you're looking for, Aniket? Which batch timing you're looking for basically, which is comfortable for you? Join at 8 p.m. Okay, 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. 9:30 to 10 means starting time, right? So 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Maybe we'll be having the batches actually. Yeah. So 9:30 to 11 a.m. will be there. The batches will be there. But I was not sure about that, whether the next batch is at 9:30 or whether the batch will be at 11 a.m. But you will be having the batches, regular batches will be there. Otherwise, if you can feel that 8 p.m. you can manage it, you can join in the 8 p.m. If you want, you can join. If you can manage the 8 p.m. batch, because already I started with this, you can just handle it. If you can handle it, you can join the batch. Okay. So update my backend team. They are going to help you. Okay. Fine, guys. Yeah, it is easy. Pandas has started only, guys. Pandas was started only. Numpy only has been got done. Numpy has been done. You can just go through the videos and we can discuss with them. You can learn it. Not a problem. Not a big problem. Okay. Fine, guys. So just for today, stop it here, guys. And as tomorrow's class, guys, as I told you, my backend team will guide you. So according to that, you can join with 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. So only for tomorrow's class, guys. From day after tomorrow, your class is at 7 a.m. only. From Friday onwards, it will be 7 a.m. class, guys. Okay. So thank you for today, guys. And we'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys. Yes, guys. Anybody, any questions? Anybody, any questions, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I want to know the fee structure.
Fee structure is actually 16,000 is the course fees, but
Okay.
you can discuss with my backend team related to the fees. If you have any discussion, you can just talk to my backend team.
Okay.
Okay, they'll get back to you. Otherwise, you have a contact numbers. I think so. You can just contact them actually. Okay. Fine. Yes, guys. Anybody? Any other questions?
Yes. Statics will be covered separately, or it's a part of machine learning?
It's a part of our data science course only. That means while we are discussing about some analytics, we learn some statistics. When you are learning machine learning algorithms, so what is the math behind them? So with respect, we don't have a separate statistical classes, Whenever the requirement comes, we are going to discuss about the relevant statistics and math concepts. Okay. So hope fine guys, everything is clarified. So just for today, I'll stop it here guys, and we'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Okay guys, if tomorrow there is only small change in the schedule, maybe from Friday onwards, we can connect regularly guys. Okay. So thank you for today guys, and we'll meet up in the next class. Thank you all of you for today guys.